Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, hi, I'm Kira and I'm obsessed with all things beauty and makeup. And let's go ahead and get into it. So today I'm going to be doing another episode of my 2 Looks 1 Palette series. And I'm going to go ahead and feature my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Mini Blood Sugar Palette. So that's what the unicorn looks like, and this is what the palette itself looks like. This was my favorite palette for a very long time. However, this is not my top favorite palette anymore, and I've talked about it in some videos recently that I've recorded. They're probably already up. But I used to love this palette so much, and I still do. That has not changed. I still love this palette. But the only thing is that with me bringing in so many products, and a lot of them are eyeshadow palettes. I mean, I have 34 eyeshadow palettes that are in my everyday eyeshadow palette collection. So it only makes sense that since my collection itself is growing, that my looks kind of grow and change with it. So anyways, I thought about go ahead and doing this because this palette has a very unique color story in the sense of you're gonna get a red warm tone look unless you kind of do a more neutral look, which is what I wanted to do, which is why I pulled out this Hard Candy Metal Glaze liquid foil in the shade Gold to try out and see if I want to keep. Also, if I... Yes. Also, if I look like I have had makeup on before, is because I have. I've filmed a few videos already prior to this, so that's what's going on with that. I'm going to use my LA Colors eye primer in a matte finish. I really enjoy this eye primer. It is really nice. It is a thin primer that is going to blank out your entire eyelid. So if you want something like that, then I definitely recommend this. I prefer not to set it. I am going to set it today. Also, my eyelids are a little stained because I did have makeup on for a little bit because I filmed some other videos. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. So I am going to set for today's purpose just to kind of show you guys. And I'm also using the Smoke and Roses brush collection, just the eye brushes from ColourPop in case you are curious. I'm going to take the E4 brush, and I'm actually going to take Sugarcane, which is a matte pink, to set because this eye is going to be my red eye, I guess you could call it. The other eye is going to be my warm tone neutralish eye, but I'm still kind of working out what I want to do with that eyes in my head. This one I know because every time I pick up this palette, it's the look I kind of think of. So anyways, I'm going to actually just stick to the red tones. Usually when I do this look, I just want you guys to know I always take Ouch right here, and I kind of have that as a transition shade and to blend it out, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to take the E2 brush, and I'm going to take Prick right here, and I'm going to work that into the crease over on this side. Prick is a matte kind of orangey red. I really like this. So I talked about this in my Jeffree Star custom 9-pan palette, 2 looks in 1, which should be up before this. I love the idea of a custom palette. However, I don't think that Jeffree Star is the way to go just because you have to buy the palette and then his individual shadows, which, yes, his shadows are a flawless quality, but you're literally getting 9 pans, and each of these individual shades that he sells are like $9.99. It's like $10. So by the time you get a full 9-pan palette, you're going to be over $100 into that 9-pan palette. Unless you do get his mystery boxes. His mystery boxes tend to always have single shadows in it. That's how I built my single shadow collection up with Jeffree's shadows, was from his mystery box. His mystery boxes. I've done 3 mystery boxes. I did the Valentine's Day one, the Halloween one, and I did the summer one last year. So I do recommend that if you want to get some Jeffree Star single shadows, but I don't recommend just having a full 9-pan palette with Jeffree Star shadows in it, just because you're going to be over $100 in the hole, and all you're going to get is basically this. This palette itself is $28. This is worth $28 for sure if you want to support Jeffree. So I'm actually going to clean this brush off, which is the E4 brush, and I'm going to, no, actually I'm not. I'm going to just use my finger. I'm going to take Wisdom. This is the shade in this palette that is the exclusive shade. It's the Red Ruby Slippers, as Jeffree called it. Here we go. Such a gorgeous shade. love it so much. I actually, when I'm doing videos with my eyeshadow palettes, I'm always looking for something that either inspires me or I don't have in my collection. And I actually do not have a red like this in my whole collection, which is very hard to do. So I'm going to take Cherry Wet on that same E2 brush, which is just another matte red. So if you are looking to create your custom palette, because if you are not into makeup the way I am and don't want a massive collection the way I have, which is totally understandable, because I have a gigantic collection. But I also do YouTube, and I am buying, you know, thousands of dollars worth of makeup every month that I can haul. So there's that. If you don't want a collection like that, I do recommend getting a custom palette. The custom palette I do recommend is because at the time I am filming this, ColourPop is doing a thing called ColourPop XU, where it's a bundle where you buy the palette and then you can pick out the individual shadows, and it's a 12 pan and it's $24. And I actually have so many ColourPop shadows, I actually did end up picking this palette up. I did one myself, which you will see when I receive it at the end of the month. I will haul it because I will receive it before the end of the month. I'm just taking Coma, which is this matte purple on the end, to intensify the outer corner. Like that. I like that. You can't really see it, I don't think. Which I kind of want it to be kind of like there, but not there. Yeah, I like that. So I do recommend the ColourPop one instead if you are looking to create a custom palette. Alright, I'm going to take the E3 brush, and I'm going to go into Candy Floss right here, put it on my brow bone, and my inner corner. And just no additional product on this brush. Just going to blend this out a little bit better. And I think it actually needs a little bit more blending. I'm okay with this the way it is. I'm going to take this L1 brush and take Prick on the lower lash line and just kind of mirror the crease, I guess you could say. And then Cherry Wet going on top of that. Did you just throw my brush down there where I can't get it? What is wrong with you? Why do you hate me? Then I'm taking Coma. Oh, so you got another brush. You know you're supposed to have one brush out, and that's it, Kai. I almost tried to do the other eye, but then I'm like, oh wait, it's 2 looks, 1 palette. Okay, so this is the completed eye. Very red and very dramatic. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and pick out my eyeliner and mascara. I'll be right back. I give my child a little too much leeway. So here are the products I picked out. So I am going to go ahead and do a wing on this eye because it kind of calls for it. And I'm going to use my NYC liquid liner to do a wing. I like having kind of like a wing for dramatic looks. And I do think that this is quite dramatic. Okay, there's that. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my ColourPop Creme Gel Eyeliner, and this is in the shade Cherry Pie. I actually received this in a mystery box from ColourPop last year, and I'm so glad I did receive this because I never would think to pick up a red liner. And I actually do use this quite a bit, and it comes in handy for looks like this. I tend to reach for this more when I'm reaching for the Blood Sugar Mini palette, to be completely honest. And the mascara I'm going to use is the Anastasia Lash Brag Mascara. So in case you were wondering about fallout, there was no fallout on this eye with this palette. That's pretty nice for a red shadow. Alright, now we are going in on the other eye, and I am going to just take the other side of this E4 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Glucose, which is this matte white, which is also in the original Blood Sugar palette. Don't know if I mentioned 8 shades are in the original Blood Sugar palette, except for Wisdom. So if you wanted to do this look using the original Blood Sugar palette, you wouldn't be able to, because you don't have the Wisdom shade. And I am setting my eyeshadow primer down completely using Glucose. I do alternate whenever I do set my eyeshadow primer, because before I started using this LA Colors one, I did set my eyeshadow primer. I used to use the Essence I Heart Stage eyeshadow base, and that one I do think needs set. This one I think actually works better when it's not set, but I'm not going anywhere. And to be completely honest, I plan to take this look off soon. So I wanted to white out my eyes, and I have achieved that. I'm going to take this E9 brush, and I'm just going to go into my Chocolates palette and Hidden, and I'm going to take Hidden right here, and I'm going to put that in the crease because I needed something a little bit more warm and lighter than Ouch, and I always have my Chocolates palette out, so I was kind of... It's not really cheating in my opinion because I reach into this palette every single day, So I'm just going to go ahead and take this Hard Candy Metal Glaze in gold, and I'm going to see if it survives a declutter, because that's one of the reasons I'm also doing this series. Okay, so this, so far, I think will survive my declutter. I think it's going to survive, because it's actually very pretty. Okay, that's pretty. Now let's go into the Blood Sugar Mini Palette. I'm going to actually take this E26 brush, and I'm going to take Sweetener right here, and I'm actually going to tap Sweetener right here on top of that Hard Candy shadow, because I want to use every shade in this palette, and I almost have. And Sweetener is a really pretty eyeshadow, honestly. I'm going to go a little further out. I really like this series because it's forcing me to... I'm actually just going to cover that whole gold and use that as a base, because that Sweetener shade looks so pretty on top of that gold. I like this series because it's not only showing you guys the different looks you can create with these palettes, but it also is opening me up to being able to use more of these palettes. Like, use them more in different ways. Like, that is so pretty. I never use Sweetener. I never use Sweetener. So the only shade I haven't used in this palette is Ouch. I'm going to go ahead and take my E9 palette, or E9 brush, which was the crease brush I used on the other side, or for this side, and start working Ouch into the crease. It went to a commercial, baby. Yeah, 2, 1. There we go. I have a Roku TV. Well, it's Kai's TV. My uncle bought it for Kai. And I lost the remote, so I have the app because I lost the remote. So I'm just really working that brown. I'm actually just going to go ahead and use this brush. This is the E6 brush, and take Glucose. And I'm going to re-intensify Glucose on the brow bone, because I kind of lost some of that white. And I really want it to be stark in there. And then no additional product, actually. No additional product to blend out the brow bone. Now I don't think I'm going to add any more shades to this look. Over here, maybe just keep blending, because it looks blended in person, but on camera it doesn't look blended. Alright, I'm going to take my E28 brush and just take Ouch from my Jeffree Star palette and put that on the lower lash line. And then I'm just going to take this E18 brush and take Candy Floss, which is the shadow I used on the other side, and put it in the inner corner. Alright, so I'm pretty much done with the eyeshadows, so I'm going to pick out my eyeliners and mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've picked out what eyeliners I want to use on this eye, and I have them right here. So I picked out the Lash Frag Mascara, my NYC liquid liner, because for some reason I want to do a wing, so I'm going to do a wing, and Rimmel London's Scandalize eyeliner in nude. So I'm going to go ahead and do my wing. Okay, there is the wing. I'm going to take the nude liner. Like that. And take the Lash Frag Mascara. This is the mascara I used on the other side, but the other two mascaras that I'm trying to work through would not work for this eye. So that's why I wanted to just pick this one out. Alright, so this is the finished looks for both eyes. I'm really curious as to what you guys think about these eyes and the looks I created. So, would you go more red and dramatic, or would you go more neutral and natural? This is definitely not natural by any means, but it is more neutral and more wearable, in my opinion, than this eye. So, let me know what you guys think down below. I really like this palette, like I said. It's not my favorite palette anymore, but it was the favorite palette for a very, very long time. And it is still my favorite Jeffree Star palette. It's just not my favorite palette out of all my palettes because, like I said, I've expanded my collection. And I actually have even more palettes that are going into my everyday palette collection at the end of the month. But this is May 12th when I'm filming this, and I haven't hauled them yet. And I haven't gotten to use them yet, so they're not in my collection until they get hauled. So just know that that eyeshadow palette collection is expanding even more as it does every month. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Really helps this channel out. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Yeah.